Hey climbers, Brent here, and before we get into the show, I want to let you know about a killer event that's coming up. It's the Martha's Vineyard Songwriting Festival, and it's coming up September 12th through the 16th in beautiful Martha's Vineyard. We're going to have a great weekend of music, workshops, and networking. I'm co-headlining the weekend workshops with my pal, Jimmy Yeary. Jimmy wrote I Drive Your Truck for Lee Brice, Everything's Gonna Be Alright for David Lee Murphy and Kenny Chesney, and a bunch of other stuff. Joining us will be hit-songwriters Byron Hill, who's written hits for George Strait and a bunch of others, and Jesse Lee, whose hits include Peter Pan for Kelsey Ballerini. We'd love to have you join us in the vineyard. You can get all the details and reserve your spot today at marthasvineyardsongwritingfest.com. That's marthasvineyardsongwritingfest.com. All right, Johnny, do your thing.
Welcome to the climb! This is a show dedicated to helping singers, songwriters, and indie artists like you create leverage in the music business. As a matter of fact, that's literally why we called it The Climb, C.L.I.M.B, creating leverage in the music business. That's brilliant. Why do we name it that? Because what is leverage? Leverage is a strategic advantage. It's the power to act effectively. It means you're bringing something to the table other than your talent and a lot of potential. You're bringing a reputation already. You've already shown that you can do something, and you're going to get a lot better deals and a lot more love. And that's what you're going to need to get ahead in the music business today. These are not things that you should be doing. These are things that you have to be doing. You need to create leverage. Person who came up with The Climb, C.L.I.M.B, is my co-host and my good friend, Mr. Brent Baxter. Brent is an award-winning hit songwriter with cuts by Alan Jackson, Randy Travis, Lady Antebellum, Joe Nichols, and more. And Brent also helps songwriters like you turn pro by revealing how you write like a pro, do business like a pro, and on a regular basis, he has different opportunities that will connect you with the pros so you can either take an at-bat or listen in and watch how those at-bats are taken and just get your head around how it works. You can find Brent at songwritingpro.com. It's real easy, songwritingpro.com.
And I would like to introduce you to my co-host, Johnny Dwinell. Johnny owns Daredevil Production. They help you find your sound, and they help you grow your audience so you can become the artist that everybody loves, and so you can get paid. Cha-ching. Yeah, Daredevil has worked with multi-platinum artists such as Colin Ray, Tracy Lawrence, Ty Herndon, and Andy Griggs, just to name a few. You can find Johnny at daredevilproduction.com. That's production, singular, no S, and there is no S because there is no other Johnny D.
Many, many people are thankful for that. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing all right.
Yeah?
I'm doing all right. Good to be working with you.
We're working with you, too.
Glad to be in the room. Glad to be sharing what we got with people.
That's right. It's starting to, man, we're working on another record-breaking month. Yet another
working
one.
on it, yeah.
I'm excited about that. Just means it's resonating with people.
Yes.
Right?
It means people are digging with it.
They're digging it. And what are we going to learn today? You're jiving. You're at the helm.
I am. So this is a question that pops up from time to time in the Songwriting Pro Facebook community. It probably pops up on the Climb community every now and again. It's a common question. Should I copyright my song?
A lot of people wonder about that.
A lot of people wonder about it. It's a relevant question, and people sweat and freak out about it. And so we're just going to dive into it a little bit, give you my perspective on it, and we'll do that.
Before that, let's take care of a little business.
That's right.
First of all, join the C.L.I.M.B community if you haven't already. It's on Facebook. Search for the C.L.I.M.B community. Ask to be let in. We let everybody in unless you don't have a picture. If you haven't figured out how to upload a profile picture to Facebook, then
you're not ready yet.
You're not ready for the C.L.I.M.B community. But man, there's a lot going on there, isn't there?
Yeah, we're starting to do, we got your Music Monday, which is where you can share your tunes. Every once in a while we drop in a co-writer connect so you can meet up with other people for co-writes or other kind of collaboration, people asking questions, people being helpful and giving answers and all that good stuff.
And we'll post news stuff on there. I think as much, we can be better at it, but as much as we can, we try to make it a good resource where you can go and visit and just get caught up on some stuff that we filter through that would be relevant to you.
Yep.
And other people answering questions for the community, which is cool. So go there, be good boys and girls, or you will get roadhouse. Don't be a spammy terrorist.
That's right. We don't spam, we jam.
That's right. All killer, no filler. Subscribe to the podcast. That way the Tuesday full episodes come right into your phone, and every Friday we have a mini-sode. It's either Song Title Challenge or it is Expand Your Brand. They're all right there. You don't have to worry about catching it on a feed. It's there for you to consume whenever you have that sleepless night when you're like, I might as well get something done.
Or the dog to walk, right?
There you go. Also share it. The best possible compliment you could give us is to tell a friend, tell a fellow musician, a fellow songwriter, a fellow indie artist, hey, this will change your life. Like, this is cool. Like, there's some good information here that gets you thinking the right way. It's positive, it's educational, it's motivational, and turn them on to it. And we're always excited to hear about stories like that. And then lastly, take 30 seconds, leave a rating and review, 5-star rating. Tell us why, how it's helped you, so that other people who are thinking about spending a little bit of time on it can read through the reviews and find out that it's legit and that there might be something there for them.
That's
and they'll donate the time.
And speaking of reviews, I believe we have a new one.
We do. This is a 5-star review once again. Very short and sweet. I like it. It's from it's called Continuing Education from Tracks for You. And it's very, very quick and concise. These podcasts are part of my continuing education as a songwriter, period.
Thank you for that 5-star review.
Yes.
Tracks for You, and I'm glad we're helpful for you.
I am too. So, man, should we copyright that song?
Man, I tell you, when I was, it's a question I get a lot, and when I started off, my buddy Tim, Tim Meitzen was my only co-writer back in the day, back in Arkansas, and we'd write, like 10 songs or whatever, and we'd go on the copyright.gov website, and we'd bind them as an album. That way we didn't have to
only
do
one fee.
One fee. At the time it was $20 and per song. So we'd do an album because we all have the same writer, same splits. We'd do that and send it off and get our form PA back or whatever. Months later, and it made us feel good that no one was going to steal our songs. Looking back on those songs now.
How much money did you spend copyrighting songs?
More than I've made off of them. I know that.
That's called cash flow negative.
Cash flow negative, right? That made me feel better. So let me start off by saying I am not a lawyer. I'm not a copyright attorney. All right, so this is not legal advice. Right. I feel like there's some lawyer somewhere that would tell me to say that. But it is I'm going to give you my professional experience and what I see and what I've done and what I've experienced on the road. And so you can take it for what it's worth. But we're going to dive into this. So here's the big thing about copyright you need to know is as soon as you, due to a copyright law of 1976 or something, or 74 or something like that, as soon as you sing your song into your voice memo, you record it into a video, you write it down in your notebook, you sing it into a tape deck, whatever.
You send up smoke signals, and that can be
whatever.
You get a tattoo that's got the recording thing on it.
As soon as it's fixed, you got the wave pattern. As soon as it's fixed in a fixed form, so you record it somehow, you write it down, you own the copyright.
Yes.
The minute you do that, you own the copyright. So usually what people are talking about is registering the copyright.
Right. For protection.
For protection. So here in the U.S., right, so I'm not going to speak to any other country. I don't know what's going on in Saskatchewan, as far as that process.
How about Namibia?
Oh, yeah.
No?
No, I don't know. I don't know what's going on in China. Probably not much as far as copyright protections. But anyway, so what you do is, in the U.S., you go to copyright.gov. You get the form. Usually, I think it's form PA. But what that does, you fill it out, you send in your song, and that registers your copyright. So basically, you already own the copyright, but now you're waving your hand to the government going, hey, I got this copyright here. Want you to know about it.
Yeah, that's right.
Stamp a date on it.
So they acknowledge it.
So that way, if it comes up in a lawsuit, whether on either side of a lawsuit, I've got it registered, and there's an official kind of stamp. Boom, you turned it in this date. Here's your date of creation.
Counts in the court of law.
Counts in the court of law, that sort of thing.
So real quick, before you go forward, just to let people, most of you probably know this, but in case you don't know, I think now it's $60, right? A song.
I'm not sure. I got a company that handles it for my new stuff.
Okay.
And so I'm not sure.
But it's
last I heard it was $40, but it might be more now.
Okay, so you can do it per song, or what Brent was talking about, just to clarify, is you can put 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 songs on a CD if you can fit them on there, and register it as a work of art, like my demo songs, Opus 1. You can call it whatever you want to call it, and you can register one fee for all those songs as a work of art. So if you're thinking about doing this, just know the difference between the two.
Yeah, that's what we did, and there may be some differences in the protection, how strong some of the protections are. I don't know all that stuff. So again, not an attorney, but that's what I used to do. Now we do them separately. But so that's what you're doing. You're raising your hand. You're putting your stake in the ground in Washington D.C.
So as soon as you write
boom.
it, you own the copyright.
As soon as you record it, write it down. As soon as it's in a fixed format, you own it.
You own it.
So if you're just playing it and singing it and you don't record it or whatever,
it doesn't.
I think officially you don't own the copyright because it's not.
And by the way, it
tangible
can't
in any
be
sort of
stolen
form.
or anything like that because nobody's ever heard it.
Yeah, it's true. So, okay, so what do the pros do, right? So, I used to work in the royalty department of Blue Water Music. I was in the royalty and admin department. Blue Water's legit worked with hit songwriters, and we do admin work, they do. I used to when I was with them, do admin work for other publishing companies and stuff. So, totally legit, know what they're doing, and actually they work for me now. But we wouldn't send off a copyright registration until the day a song was commercially released. So this is like 2002 to somewhere around there, to 2004 when I was working there. But like we'd wait, like, oh, new Rick Trevino record coming out. We got 2 songs, 2 Al Anderson songs on there, or whatever. And got the form filled out. It's sitting in my ready to go box. Release day, it's out. It's really out. Okay, now we're going to spend the money, and we're going to send that off because we had the date of creation backdated to the date it was written. Right. But now we're sending off the registration because now it's out there in the public domain. So this is before more stuff was out there in the interwebs.
Let's just go back and review that. So 2 things they should know. So number 1, they have a date of creation, especially now today. The date of creation would be on your iPhone, on your smartphone.
Yeah,
when you record it in there, it's got a date on there.
Yeah,
that counts. That's a digital stamp, right?
Yeah.
Number 2, he's sending it off the date that they released it into the public, and I think it's important to note that. When you get the copyright protection, that stamp is good from the day the protection that you get is good from the day that the postage stamp on the envelope is stamped. So it could take you 6 months to get your paperwork back.
Yeah, but it backdates.
Right. So if you send it out on March 30th and you get it back 6 months later, that protection is officially registered at March 30th because that's the date. That's on the envelope.
But January 1 may be your date of creation, which is in that form.
Which is also in the form, right.
Yeah, so there's, you're registering all that stuff. And I don't know all the ins and outs, but that's how we did it there. Because, at the time, I think it was like $40 then to do. And it was like, we got all these songwriters turning in songs. We're not going to, I don't think anybody does. You can't afford to copyright
everything. 1,000
songs a year. That's $40,000.
This is a publishing company, by the way.
Yeah,
they pay songwriters to write really good songs,
right? And
they're generating revenue from those songs,
but not from most of them. Most of them will never earn a penny.
That's right.
So why are we getting upside down on them, right? Yeah. And just all that paperwork. You got to pay somebody to fill out all that paperwork, and so even if you only register the songs you demo and pitch, it's still not really, in my opinion, a great use of time and money. So. There are a couple things, though, that publishing companies do that you can also do to help prove data creation. That's what it comes down to, right?
Data creation.
If somebody says, hey, you ripped off my song, and you're like, well, my data creation is before yours. If you can prove that data creation, their argument falls apart, right?
Right.
Because your song's older. I didn't hop in a time machine, listen to your song, hop back, and write it before you. So it's things like, the digital stamps on if you sing it in a GarageBand, your iPhone, whatever it is, upload it to YouTube, even if you make it private where other people don't see it, it's got these stamps.
Yeah.
And that's all evidence. That's like, look,
I never thought about that. That's a brilliant idea. Upload it to YouTube, just the audio, make it private, so the public can never see it.
Yeah.
But there it is on a database.
Right, exactly. That you're not going to be fudging the date on. That it was up.
And you can put in the notes like who the co-writers are and oh my gosh, why didn't I ever think that's brilliant?
Well,
do they do that at the publishing companies?
I don't know if they do that.
It's just it's sick.
Yeah. So you can do that, but that helps prove date. This song exists in this form on this date. Okay, we know it goes back at least that far. When Monday Morning Church got cut by Alan Jackson, I remember my co-writer's publisher asking me like, hey, Aaron was telling me, Aaron's my co-writer on that song, he's like, she was telling me you write everything like in these notebooks and stuff. I'm like, yeah, like even if I'm typing on the computer that day, I go back in and I put what we got that day, I handwrite into notebooks. Part of that is just because I still like that old school, I have notebooks with my lyrics in it, but I date, and put my co-writer there and here's what we got that day. Mm-hmm. He's like, that's great because that's evidence. If somebody comes along and says, "Oh, I wrote this song," and you stole my song or whatever,
right.
I can go back and show all these notebooks. Like, no, it's in notebook number 13, and here it's dated, and you got all these songs on both sides of it with dates and co-writes. Oh, and that jives with my paper calendars that I keep with my co-write dates in there.
Yep.
For years back, I keep all that stuff, and so it's all evidence that's proving data creation. It's
right.
about evidence and that kind of stuff. So, and also with publishing companies, they do like assignments. So every once in a while, you turn all these songs, and every once in a while, you're like, okay, here's a new assignment. We're officially saying these songs, these titles I've turned in, I've written during the course of my publishing deal, are part of this deal.
Okay.
And so it had the song in data creation, and you just sign it to officially kind of create a paper trail that's adding that song to that deal.
Gotcha.
And that has data creation on. So you get these documents that are proving your date of creation. So that stuff helps. So that's kind of what we do to protect ourselves without spending the $40. Yeah, we don't have it officially registered, but we do own it, and here's paper trail in case something happens. But with that big question, though, what if somebody steals my song? Okay, first of all, it's hard to sue and prove plagiarism. There are a couple things. You can't copyright a title.
Right.
All right. You can't copyright an idea, and you can't copyright an approach, like a way of.
That's right.
Kind of
By the way, can't copyright a title. I think there's 3 number 1 songs called Fire.
I'm sure, and there will be more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and secondly, you have to prove that the so-called thief had access to your song. So this is why some songwriters, hit songwriters, don't do contests. They don't do feedback nights.
Right.
They just don't want to get exposed to songs if they can help it, because that way, years later, they write a song that has the same title as one that you pitched to them for a contest or whatever. Even though you can't copyright a title, you're like, I was at that thing and you were the guest there, and I can prove that because you heard my song, and now I'm going to sue you, even if it's a different song.
Right.
They just don't want to be exposed to that liability.
Yeah.
The pros aren't going to be stealing songs anyway, but they're just like, I don't want to be in a position where somebody thinks I do that and it costs me money to prove that I did. Or
and you have to have insurance on that. That changes your insurance rates when you pop
when
for
you do that stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they can't steal without access, right? You can't rob a bank that you never stepped in.
That's right.
They got to prove that you were in the bank.
Right.
And of course, now so much stuff is online and out there. I don't know how that's going to work. It's like, it was on my SoundCloud. How can you prove you never went to their SoundCloud or whatever? Right. I don't know. I don't have to figure that stuff out. But the last hurdle is, and this is the hardest one, they'd have to make enough money off your song to make it worth your time to take legal action.
That's right.
They actually have to make money off your song before, otherwise it's kind of a victimless crime. Even if somebody like, I like that song, I'm going to put my name on it and tell everyone it's mine.
I'm going to release it on my indie record. I'm going to sell 50 copies.
Yeah, or I'm just going to play it around the road like it's mine.
Right.
Listen, the odds of them making any money off it are really slim. So that's why I think hit songwriters will play stuff out. Others writers, you play all these writers nights. You have this whole culture of this in Nashville. People going and playing songs out. They haven't copywritten all those songs, registered the copyright with all these songs. But they're playing them out in front of a room full of songwriters.
Yeah.
How are they? How does that make sense? If you're throwing out to these people that I'm worried they're going to take my stuff. So some people don't want to play out and stuff. And my theory on it is, one, any one particular song, there's a very slim chance it's going to make money. There's a better chance I'm going to make money off the relationships and building a buzz about what I do by playing my best stuff out.
Right.
There's a better chance I want to meet somebody, write the next song, build my career.
Think about the long game, not the short game.
Versus the short game of somebody taking my one song. Okay, and plus, there's so many great songs around town that we're begging somebody to go make money off of. Yeah. That are ours. Yeah. That the chance of taking somebody else's and going to make $1 million off that, really, really slim. Right? So, it's really, I think it's worth getting your stuff out there so people can hear it and think and know that you're awesome and want to write with you or want to hear more of your stuff or maybe record your stuff. Is worth a small chance that somebody might hear it, jack something from it, and make money.
Yeah, if your goal is to be a pro, if your goal is to get your songs cut by major label artists and to generate revenue somehow, by writing songs, then you need to get it out there. And so, like, if I'm reading you right, part of the message here is like, don't hide everything away because you're afraid somebody's going to steal it.
Right.
Just get it out there.
Yeah.
You know?
And if it makes you feel better to spend that money to copyright it or to register the copyright, fine.
Yeah.
Don't skin up my nose. I don't care.
Do it. But you know how many conversations I've had with like amateur songwriters who are like, that's a hurdle.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to put it out there until I get the copyright done, until I send the copyright. Which is, okay, when are you going to do that? Well, next paycheck, I'm going to. It's like, oh,
yeah.
man, come on.
Now
know?
you're like, hey, listen, just go listen to the C.L.I.M.B episode 131. It's free. You don't have to wait till your next paycheck. So
you realize you're just getting in your own way.
Yeah, now you got something you can just.
You're hijacking your own damn song.
Yeah, so. But I get it. It's a fear. I used to worry about that because I thought my songs were awesome. And you hear people stealing songs. What are they? Ed Sheeran's getting sued every other month for stealing songs. Whatever.
He really is.
He really.
He's got another one.
Somebody's in love with the shape of his bank account.
Yeah.
I guess. And
that's right.
Anyway, but it's like the odds of that are so slim, especially when you're starting out. It's like your songs probably aren't worth a dime.
Yeah.
I mean, not worth $1 million. Sorry, mine weren't.
Yeah.
I mean,
not only do they have to prove the lyric and the concept and the title, but also the melody.
Yeah, there's so much that has to be. They really have to take your song.
And that's so subjective.
Yeah. And so it's like, there's no protection. Yeah, you play it out if there's a concept. I mean, there have been some of mine that are like, okay, this is a really different concept. It's, and this really, I will hold those closer to my vest. I don't put them out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pitch them and stuff and send comps to publishers and that kind of stuff inside the business. I may not put it out there, but the other thing is, I look at it as like, even if you jack my title and my angle, you still have to write it better than I do.
Yeah, and get it out there.
And get it to the right people before I do.
Yeah.
And that's my job. And phooey on me if you beat me at my job, then dang it.
Yeah, Yeah.
Well, I guess I better start beating more people. I guess I better write my songs better.
And that's kind of focusing on like one thing too, right? Yeah. It's like, man, you know what? You're gonna get. You're gonna keep writing songs. Like,
if that's the only hit idea you ever have, well, you're not gonna make a career anyway.
Exactly.
If that's the only one you got.
So you're saying right off the bat, you're almost admitting you're like, I
got one.
Being a one-hit wonder. Yeah.
I got one. Or if they're all that special, great. Give 10 away. You got 1,000 more, right? You're gonna make so much money you won't know what to do with it anyway. So I think sometimes it's an excuse. We were talking about self-sabotage recently. That either people are just focused on the negative, like I can't make a move until I got everything perfect and everything's locked down and all in place and I'm protected and nothing bad can happen. We can get hit by a bus tomorrow. Yeah. But anyway.
What happens if you're like a husband or your father or a mother, right? And you do all that stuff, and then it's like, it's just like Alanis Morissette's.
Isn't that ironic?
Isn't that ironic? You get hit by a bus and it never happens. Like you could have had the cut that could have taken care of your family after you died, but
I know, but never played it for someone because the copyright form hadn't come back yet. So a lot of times it's an excuse. Either it's ignorance, and that's fine. We don't know what.
You can fix that.
So we're helping you with that. Okay, so now you're off the hook. But the other thing is sometimes it's just an excuse, so you don't have to take action and maybe have somebody say they don't like your song. Or you're scared of greatness, which we've talked about before, and what if they do like the song and love the song and record the song? I don't know what to do about that either, because that really freaks me out. Success freaks. What if they say yes, as you've talked about before? Yep. So there's all this kind of mind games. Usually it's not about the copyright. It's not about somebody quote unquote stealing your song. Get it out there. Don't let that be an excuse. Take action. You know what's going to happen when you do that? Probably nothing.
Yeah.
You play your song.
Probably nothing.
Some people are like, that's cool. And you'll go back home and you'll write more songs and you'll
that's right
repeat,
because they'll be talking over half that song anyway.
And then you go play more songs. You know what's going to happen? Nothing. And then eventually you get better and better.
That's right. And then somebody will be like, man, that was a great song. You want to get together and write?
And then you're like,
I would love to get together and write. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. So that's my thoughts on that. Listen, if you want some more, you can also go to songwritingpro.com and the search bar for the blog. Type in copyright, It'll bring up some other blogs with some other thoughts on this. If we want to take a little bit deeper dive, that could be another resource for you. I do that for people. Sometimes they'll email me the question about copyrights, and I'll go to Songwriting Pro, search copyright. It brings them up. I just copy that link and email it to them.
There you go.
Like, here you go.
Yeah, here's the answer.
Here are my thoughts on it. You want to pick my brain right there for free.
I just did it for you.
So, yeah.
Well, right on. Well, that brings us to the end of another Killer Climb episode, man. We hope he filled your brain with some more knowledge, and it's a big
question.
It's a big question. It's a big reason that a lot of people don't even do song demos. Like, I don't want to bring it around those other musicians until it's protected. And it's like, man, like we do 30 a day for publishing companies, for hit songwriters that you just said weren't protected. You know, that they're not going to protect them until the cut goes out.
Right, exactly, yeah. Not it's just protected in other ways.
Yeah, it's just protected in other ways. That's right.
Hey, and also, guys, I want to send you to a free resource, because we're all about giving help here, helping you on your songwriting journey. I have a gift for you. It's giftfrombrent.com. It sends you where you can download my free ebook, Think Like a Pro Songwriter. Goes into a bunch of mindsets and some inside stuff that you need to know, help you, ways to get on a publisher's radar, how the pros know who's looking for songs, that kind of stuff. You can go to giftfrombrent.com, download the free ebook. Also put you on the Songwriting Pro insiders list, so you get other tips and resources and stuff emailed to you, delivered right to you for free. So you can go and use those 3 words that I don't like to say, but check it out. Get instant access. It's a gift.
All right. Well, so there it is, guys. Join the C.L.I.M.B community if you haven't done it already. Go to Facebook, search for the C.L.I.M B community, ask to be let in. We will let everybody in as long as you got a picture and a heartbeat. We'll let you in. And don't be a spammy terrorist, or you will be roadhoused. And great community, though. Lots of stuff going on with people, helping other people. They're the most beautiful people. And we try to load that up with as much content as we can that would be valuable and relevant and personal to you. Subscribe to the podcast. Every Tuesday, full episode magically shows up in your phone. Every Friday, one of those mini-sodes, and it that way you can consume them whenever you want, but you've got them all there. It's automatically archived and put in one place where you can go back and find them at will. Number 3, best thing you could do for everybody, like it's a win-win-win-win-win situation, is share it. If this is where, if you're listening and you've listened to more than a couple podcasts, clearly you're getting some kind of benefit out of it. Tell somebody about it. We got a reputation. Spread it around. Right. Let somebody know. That's the best compliment we could get. And finally, take 30 seconds, leave a 5-star rating and a review on iTunes. That helps us look more legit. We're almost at 100, man. So I kind of want 100.
I know. Or you can be like those 2 people that left like a 4-star.
Yeah.
But everyone else left a 5-star.
3 people left a 4-star.
Is it 3?
Yeah.
And of course, I don't worry about the 4 stars.
Yeah, I don't worry.
I don't let it get to
We still got a 5-star rating with all those other ones. So that said, guys, listen, this podcast exists because we want you to win, so keep on climbing.
And we'll see you at the top.